making beer bread today. It's gonna be so good. I use Crisco to grease the pan because when I use Crisco, everything just slides right out and I don't have to worry about anything sticking to the pan. But I don't normally cook with Crisco because it's very, very unhealthy for me. I use it only as a greaser. So now my loaf pan is prepped. Save that for laters, as the blog world would say. And I'm using Tastefully Simple's Bountiful Beer Bread Mix. It is idiot proof. So if you've ever made bread before, you know that you start with your wet ingredients and then you pour your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients. So it calls for beer, and since I'm neither an alcoholic nor a drinker, I had to go to the liquor store to purchase a single can of beer while I endured strange looks from the man behind the counter, wondering why a fine, young, upstanding female such as myself would want one hand-sized keg of Heine.
Keg can.
Yes, keg can of Heine. So it was the cheapest beer I could find for a single can. Or I could have gotten Foster's, an Australian beer. But
then your bread would have had an accent.
It would have, and that would have been strange. So, not that Heineken is any more American than Foster's.
Well, and now it'll sound German.
Okay?
Yeah, try a slice.
So, I'm going to wait for the oven to preheat before I start mixing them together, because once your mix hits the liquid, the yeast in the bread mix will start to activate, and you don't want your bread to just kind of be sitting there waiting for the oven to preheat. So as soon as the oven's preheated, we are going to mix our ingredients together. This is our beer, because we're making beer bread. So we have 12 ounces. Most normal people would probably use a pair of scissors and not do that. Don't be alarmed by the noise in the background. That would be my cat playing with a paper bag. Now we have to stir quickly and only for 30 seconds because we don't want to overmix. Part of the peel of the bread is the carbonation from the beer. It'll make it very kind of spongy, but also moist at the same time. I've had this bread at a Tastefully Simple party. So. As you can see, our dough is getting kind of, well, doughy. Very thick. You want to make sure you mix it all the way through, though. You don't want any little pockets of dry batter, because that won't mix and bake very well. So it's all coming together, and you know it's coming together because it's not sticking to the side of the bowl. So almost there. Just make sure we get all the little pockets. Don't have any little balls of powder erupting. And I think that's about it. It's excellent. Okay, so our next step is to pour it inside the pan. Like I said, this recipe is pretty much idiot proof. So if you know how to wield a spatula, open up a can of beer, then you can make beer bread. And there's many schools of thought as far as to what pan you use. I like glass for some reason. I like to be able to see the bread on the outside, and I don't know, it's easier to clean, I think, than a pan. But you can use a dark or a light colored pan. Either one is fine. So, okay, so now we can place it in the oven. And I'm using a gas oven. That's just what I have. An electric one will work just as fine. So, oh, I use one of these timers. So, we are baking for 50 minutes. And we're good to go. So we'll have beer bread in 50 take the bread out of the oven. Let me just say, this bread make the whole house smell like beer and bread, literally. So I'm gonna leave the oven turned on so that just in case I have to put it back in there. It came out clean. We're making beer bread today. It's gonna be so good. Now all my blog friends are gonna think I really talk like that. I don't. Not really.